What's up, guys? It's Jared, and today we're going to be going over World Championships. What do we think is going to be at the top, and what do we think is going to not perform as well as we'd like? I'm going to be going over my thoughts on the current metagame, and I'm not going to Worlds, so we'll just see how this goes. So, we are going to start off with Lost Zone box. So, I think that Lost box is really good. I think it has some iffy matchups such as the Arceus decks, but I think that it is definitely one of the most streamlined decks in the metagame, and so I'm gonna give this an S tier. I think it's just super strong, especially in a best of 3. If you're Azul's group or just anyone who's been on Lost Box for a long time, right, you're just gonna be able to kind of run with it at Worlds. So I definitely think that it is S tier. Gardevoir? So everyone says Gardevoir is really good. I just don't think Gardevoir is very good. I think it's only not good because people respect that it is good, which makes it not good. But I feel like a good deck should be able to overcome its weaknesses, and Gardevoir just can't overcome being overwhelmed at the beginning of the game. So I still think it's good though. Like, do not get me wrong. I don't think it's on the Lost Box tier. I'm gonna have to. I'll put it on A, and maybe I'll change it later. But I just like if you had a money match like Lost Box versus Guardy, I would pick Lost Box every day of the week, like 100%. So next is Giratina. I think that it's definitely overhyped for like a best of 1 situation. There's just so many games where you just don't do anything. I think that either the deck is like really secretly good and somebody's just gonna pilot it to just be completely undefeated at Worlds, or it just isn't that good. I'm gonna go with the first one actually, because like this deck is so powerful. It can start by using Cram. It can pivot mid-game to just slamming Tinas on the board, and then late game, it can either slam Mirage Gates and Roxanne with a Path, or it can pivot to more of a Lost Box-esque strategy with the Sableye. So I don't really think you can discredit Tina as a deck. I think it can definitely steamroll a best of 3. I'm going to put it in S tier. As much as I hate to say it, it's just a really good deck. I've been trying to play Tina recently, and I want to work on it, but man, it feels so bad sometimes. I don't know. I think it can get through it in the best of 3 though for Worlds. So next we have, was there a Fusion Mew? Oh, there is a Fusion Mew. Okay, so I guess this is a non-Fusion Mew. This deck sucks. Like I think it's okay, but like your opponent plays like what, you just lose to a Spiritomb. So I'm gonna put it in C. I think it's a good sleeper. Like, if people just stop respecting Mew, I think it can just, like, steamroll. But, like, other than that, no. Arctina is definitely very good. I'll put it in A. It's just, this thing's just powerful. There's nothing that really steamrolls it, really. Like, I guess Guardian might have a decent matchup. But, like, it's just the paths. It just seems so good. It just seems so good. Like, Arctina is just one of those decks that just won't go away because Path to the Peak is just really good. And if you power up Tina's with a Path in play, that's just a super strong combo with Iono in the format. So I don't know why Goodra's on here. Goodra. I just think there's too much Tina. Like what? It does well against Lost Box. I don't see it doing well against Guardy. It just feels very meh. I'll put it on Mew Genesect tier because I don't really think it's very good. Chien-Pao, my boy. What do I think of Chien-Pao? I think that the current builds, like I hate the current builds with like Skaters Park or Pokestop and like Cross Switcher. Like, come at me, Owen, but I don't like that nonsense. I'm just trying to go for some quick kills on some Raltzes, get them in the Lost Zone. Against Lost Box, I Lost Zone your Sableye. Against Tina, I just blow up your Tinas. I think it has a really solid game plan against every deck, and for a best of 3 especially, like, it's obviously really good. What can I say? S tier or A tier? The only reason I'm reluctant about S tier is like, it just struggles with Arctina so much, and with Arctina being so good, I'm not really sure. And also, Guardy has a lot of chances in the best of 3 to, like, set up. If Guardy gets super set up, Chien-Pao is just a little bit meh. I think if everyone played Lost City and I knew for a fact, if you gave me, like, 100% guarantee that somebody was going to break Chien-Pao for Worlds and it was going to beat everything consistently, I would say great. I think it's, like, a strong A, though. Like, it's a strong A. It is very strong. I would love to put it in S, but I don't know. If you have, like, the Chien-Pao luck and you just top deck superiors out of nowhere, but path being so big makes this, just stops it from being S tier in my opinion. Fusion Mew, I really like as a best of 1 deck. I've played it a lot. I played it at a cup today, actually. I went 0-2 drop with it. I hit like 2 Arc Path decks in a row. And it's pretty good. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it's good against Gardevoir. I think it holds its own against Lost Box. I think it beats Tina. Well, it beats Tina Lost Zone. Against Chien-Pao, it does pretty well. Against Tina, it does not do very well. So for Fusion Mew, it's like a B+. Can I say B+? I just feel like you gotta respect it. You just gotta respect the Fusion Mew. I'm actually gonna put it at A tier. Like, this is like a pet pick. I just like Fusion Mew. Lost Art, that deck sucks. It just doesn't beat anything. It just does not do anything. It's poop tier. It's probably better than that. It's poop. All right, Arctura. So how does Arctura? So Arctura does really well against Lost Box. It gets rolled by Tina. It gets rolled by Chien-Pao. Like, I think that this is one of the overhyped decks. It did really well at NAIC. I don't really know why. I guess the line against Guardy is the same boss, Lost City. I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of the lesser of the 2 Tinas. Or, sorry, the lesser of the 2 Arcs. I feel like if you want to play, like, an Arceus deck, just, like, getting a path is just, like, so freaking good. And I don't think that you don't really have the edge of being, like, a Duraludon anymore. Like, I think if you're going to play, like, a Lost City deck, I'd rather play, like, Chien-Pao or Fusion Mew. Arctura just feels so meh. But I also haven't played Arctura. But it seems like Arctura is really good when, like, Dura hard counter something. And then you can, like Alex paired it with, like, Vulpix, and it did really well. Because, like, Vulpix just kind of walled out Guardy. But I think the meta is just way too wide for an Arctura counter box sort of thing. So I'm going to put it in B tier. Because I think that the Tina is the better of the 2 Arc decks. And, like, Lost City is really good against Guardy. It's really good against Lost Box. But there's a lot more at the top. I mean, you got to meet way more. And, like, God, the Chien-Pao matchup is just so bad. It is just, that is Chien-Pao's freest matchup, I'm telling you. So, for that reason alone, I'm out. Intel Urshi. So, I don't know a ton of matchup spreads with this deck. I know it, like, destroys Lost Box, and it gets dunked on by Mew. And, Tina might be able to hold its own, but it seems pretty even with the Lost Box version. I think it beats Guardy. Or I guess it depends. It depends on the starts, maybe. Tina seems like it does pretty well against Chien-Pao. It doesn't do very well against. I think that, like, we're talking about Worlds here, right? So I feel like people at Worlds are just gonna, like, they're gonna know how to play the matchups. I think Intel Urshi is, like, so good in, like, a regionals or, like, an NAIC because, like, man, people don't know how to play against that deck. Like, they don't know what to do when there's, like, a bunch of damage counters just flipping up left and right on their, you know, on their board. So I think that I'm gonna put it on B tier. This is like a sleeper though. Like, I feel like if it hits the right matchups, it can just, like, dominate. Like, obviously it did the NAIC, right? It just, like, everything went right and it just kind of dominated. But I think that, like, into the blind meta, I'd just rather play other things. I don't know. So I put Palkia on here because this is the new, like, Palkia Chien-Pao thing that people are talking about. I just don't like this deck. I didn't play that many games with it. I may play like 4 or 5 games. It just did not work half of the time. Like, it just didn't do anything. So it's really just, like, Palkia with, like, Chien-Pao with, like, hey, I'm gonna help you get some energies. It doesn't seem good into Tina, and into Chien-Pao backs, it just does not seem good. Fusion Mew, it just does. Like, Palkia can beat Fusion Mew, but, like, needs a good hand. Like, Palkia Intel, if it was like an Inteleon line, it would be like way better, right? But no Inteleon line, you just have to have the raw stuff in hand. I'm putting it in C tier. I don't think it's, oops, no, it's not that bad. I think it's in C tier. It's like, I don't know, too much needs to go right. It's like with these other guys, right? Mew needs to hit 0 Spiritomb, and then it's just meh. And then Goodra needs to hit like no Tinas. It's just like you need way too much to go right. So for Worlds, it's just not good. Lugia, I have so much mixed feelings about Lugia. I think that on paper, it beats so much on paper. Like it beats Lost Box, it beats Tina. I don't know about Arctina. I feel like it beats that on paper. It beats Chien-Pao on paper, or at least it's even against Chien-Pao on paper. And then it just annihilates Fusion Mew. And then beats Arctor on paper. Like, it beats all these decks on paper, right? But like when it comes down to it, you get turn 1 Path and then like whiff a Lugia start, and it's like, oh no, like, you know. I feel like it's like B tier. I'm like dunking on it too hard here, because I think it's like, it's pretty good, and the best of 3 does even out the variance. Like B is like the sleeper tier. Like I feel like I could see any one of these decks winning, but if you're going in the Worlds, like I want to win the most games, like guaranteed. I wouldn't pick the decks in the B tier. But yeah, good matchup spread all around though. Like if it's all Lost Box and Tina, like Lugia's gonna do super well. All right, the next one is Ting Poop. This deck is bad. I don't know why. I don't know why I put this on here. It doesn't really beat anything, so it's in Poop tier. Next one is Arc Drago. I think this deck just kind of needs too much. Like I tested it, and it's like, if you can get like the Noivern lock, it is so good. I hope that like somebody breaks it for Worlds, or just any Regidrago, to be honest. Like if I had to pick between all the sleepers to like win Worlds, I'd pick Drago. I don't know how you'd build that, but like there's just so many cards in Standard, I feel like you could make it work. But RSC's Regidrago, like the juniors winning list, I don't really know. I'm going to have to. It's like on C tier. It's like on Palkia tier. Next we have United Wings. I just like, this deck just feels bad. It's not even like, if you dodge Lost Box, you're fine. You'd have to dodge Lost Box, Chien-Pao, and Tina. I'm gonna put it in D tier. I would put it higher, but like we're talking Worlds here. I mean, these people know what they're doing. You're not gonna win. I'm sorry. All right, so as for Miraidon, I think that it is pretty good, but like people dunk on this. This is like, I think Miraidon's good. I think it's like, especially in like a metagame where like Giratina Lost Zone's good, and like Chien-Pao is good. Like, yes, it's a turn 2 meta, but like these decks are kind of slower, right? Like it's a turn 2, but it's like, okay, Tina could whiff it, and then like Chien-Pao is like, I can't do anything turn 1, so if I lose a coin flip, we're in bad news bears. So I'm actually putting it in B tier because I really like it, and I think it has like a pretty good matchup spread, especially with like Path to the Peak, because you really only need that Miraidon ability for the very first guy, and then yeah, once you have that, you are pretty much good to go. But yeah, hopefully that was informational. I could realistically see any or all of these decks winning the tournament, except like the ones I put in D tier probably. I think that there might be a deck that is not in any of these that like top 8 or wins a tournament, whether that be like Reggie's, just some off the wall pick. Excited to see what will be in Yokohama, and yeah, I will see you all next time.